guys, it's Vesper Starwolf here with another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing a book called Her Eyes Underwater by Ramona Simon, if that is your real name. I wasn't sure at first if I was going to do a video review of this book because I did receive a free copy from this one website in exchange for a review of it, and I don't have the cover or the actual physical book to show because it is an ebook that I got on my laptop. So I'll probably put the cover like over here or something. And I wasn't sure because of the circumstances if I was going to do a review, but I did look it up on Amazon. The book is available for anyone to buy on Amazon and to leave their own reviews. So I decided this would be fine because, you know, anyone could read this book regardless of where they got it. So I decided to. And it's a doozy, because I will say straight out, I did not like this book. So you guys might get to actually see me rant about something I do not like. Before I get started, I just do want to warn that this book is described as a dark romance and thriller. So it does have darker topics like murder and sexual assault. I won't be diving too much into those topics in the review, but just be aware that this book does have those kind of themes in them. The book is about a college student by the name of Julia Strauss going to school for to be a lawyer. She meets a mysterious man by the name of Alex Bowman. She falls head over heels for him. However, he might be harboring a dark secret. Ooh. As I said, didn't like this book. I will give it the benefit of the doubt. It was very well written. You know, I didn't see any typos that I could think of. So it has that going for it. And also I want to say this isn't the normal type of book that I read. So I might be biased in that sense. However, as a writer and someone who loves to read, I feel like I do have some valid criticisms for this book still, despite it not being my normal genre. A huge one is the main character, Julia. Absolutely horrible person. You usually want to root for your main character, even if they're not that good of a person. You know, you want to give your main character something interesting to interest your readers, even if they are a horrible person. But like, nothing about Julia was particularly interesting to read about, because she basically is only going to law school because her rich parents made her. She was just racking up too many bills because she's one of those people that like traveling and spending her parents' money all the time, and very uncomfortably like possessive of Alex. Like, they're not even dating, but she's acting like they are. And she's supposed to be our protagonist, which is a huge issue. And especially very sexist towards other women. You know, she's like, oh, they're after my man. Another thing, I'm realizing this is becoming my least favorite, like, book trope. But people keep writing these, like, male characters that are, like, supposed to be so perfect that every single woman that breathes is just like, oh my god, he's so hot, I need to date him, or frick frack. And there's literally a scene in this book that's like a woman's like is thinking about like cheating on her husband with you know, Alex. And she's like, no woman would fault her for that, because any woman in her, it said all women in her shoes would do the same. And I'm just like, 1,000 lesbians screaming in the distance. judges you in furry. It's pretty bad when a furry is judging you. I hate when writers do this. And it's very, here's a writing tip from me. Someone who's been writing for years, okay? No one person is so attractive or so perfect that every single person of the opposite sex will try to jump in bed with them, okay? Writers, you have to know this. You're just annoying your readers, okay? Please, stop this. You know, Julia, you know, it's okay to have characters like this as your main character. It is okay to have unlikable characters. However, they have to go through an arc, some kind of change in their person during the story. Julia does not. Her arc is try to get with the guy and gets with the guy at the end. Slight, maybe spoiler territory warning. Alex is also very unpleasant, but it's obvious because he's kind of like the antagonist. He, you know, spoiler alerts for anyone who might actually want to read this book, but you know, he's a murderer. He's a serial killer. He kills people. He kind of puts on this like perfect act. He has all this stuff and no flaws, but he's a serial killer, which, you know, that's also fine because, you know, you're not supposed to root for him. The summary of this book makes it seem like, oh, Julia's going to try and go after this guy and then find out that he's a serial killer, and then she's going to be in danger from him trying to, like, kill her, right? You find out this is actually the first book of a series called, like, the Bowman Files, I believe. Even knowing that, you would assume this particular story would conclude. I have to talk about the ending because, in my opinion, it's just that bad. I'll try not to get too deep into it. But the whole story was almost like they were trying to be too much of a romance, despite Alex murdering people. So the final chapter was a flashback of the first chapter, but from Alex's point of view. So how he feels, how he first felt about Julia when he saw her, because, you know, he was actually going to murder her, but he did not, because she's in the same classes as him, and it would lead back to him. Which, that is fine. Like, that was actually a really interesting chapter to see, even though it kind of goes into him murdering someone else. Okay, excuse my language, but this book has a real hard-on for murder. Like, there was a smut scene towards the end that had less detail than the murder scenes, and I'm just like, don't like that. So, the flashback chapter ending the book was fine. I thought it was a nice touch. However, I didn't know it was going to be the last chapter. The chapter before that, which is the present and what's currently going on, it was basically, you know, Julia and Alex finally hooking up, but it didn't feel like a solid conclusion, because this whole time you're expecting, oh, Julia's gonna end up getting, like, attacked by Alex eventually, and she's going, you know, kind of like a Lifetime movie. It's like going to conclude with her either getting killed or overcoming the murder attempt and either Alex getting killed or escaping, and it just doesn't end like that. You know, and I feel like if you want the full conclusion to that particular story, you'd have to get the other books. Like, I know it is like a series, but this singular book just didn't feel like a conclusion of any type. Like, I'm not buying the other ones. I don't, when they come out. Like, I didn't enjoy this at all. It's harsh, but, you know, these are criticisms. You know, no books are exempt from being criticized, I feel. Even my own. Like, I'm currently having my book edited. My editor is just tearing into it, but it's fine. I'm like, yeah, let me have it. Let me know what sucks so I can make it better. I really think this book could have used a few more eyes on it, maybe of varying backgrounds, because it just wasn't good. It was well written, and if you do like this kind of book, even despite all those issues, I mean, you can pick it up. I don't personally recommend this book, but, you know, different strokes for different blokes. Anyway, that's it for this review and this video. Thank you all for listening to my rant, if you did. So, yeah, that's it for now. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!